Okay, so we're back with example 2 of dividing rational expressions. This time we are asked to divide 6x squared plus x minus 15 over 4x squared by 3x squared plus 5x. I'm going to approach this problem pretty much the same way that we approached example number 1. In this case, what I'm going to do first, though, is I'm just going to write 3x squared plus 5x over 1. Because in a second, I'm going to be taking the reciprocal of 3x squared plus 5x, and by placing it over 1, it's just going to make that process a little bit easier. So remember, to divide rational expressions, we're going to multiply the first expression, which in this case is 6x squared plus x minus 15 over 4x squared. We're going to multiply by the reciprocal of the second expression, so this case would be 1 over 3x squared plus 5x. So now this process becomes pretty much identical to the previous example. I'm going to attempt to factor the numerators and the denominators of both rational expressions. Then we're going to multiply them together and see if we can divide out any common factors. If we take a look at this first expression that we're going to try to factor, it's 6x squared plus x minus 15. So it's a quadratic trinomial with a leading coefficient that's not equal to 1. So I'm going to actually use the area model to factor that trinomial. So I'm going to do that over on the right-hand side, which will pop up in a second. So 6x squared plus x minus 15. So to do this, I'm going to multiply the quadratic term times the constant term, which gives us negative 90x squared. Now I'm going to be looking for factors of negative 90x squared that add up to x. Those factors are 10x and negative 9x. Now we have all the pieces that we need to construct our area diagram. So in the top left-hand corner, we're going to put our quadratic term. Bottom right, our constant term. And in the two remaining boxes, and it doesn't matter which one you choose, you're going to put your linear terms. And now we are going to factor out the GCFs of the columns and the rows. So let's do the columns first. This first one, 6x squared and negative x, the greatest common factor is 3x. Second column, 10x and negative 15, positive 5 is your greatest common factor. Grab a different color real quick. This first row, 6x squared and 10x, the greatest common factor is a 2x. And then the bottom row, negative 9x and negative 15, looks like the GCF would be negative 3. So I'm going over here back on the left-hand side, and I'm going to rewrite 6x squared plus x minus 15 in its factored form, 3x plus 5 times 2x minus 3. Bottom we can't factor any further as of yet, so right now we're just going to leave that alone as 4x squared. 1 is factored completely. 3x squared plus 5x, it looks like we can take out a factor of x. So that would leave us 3x squared divided by x is 3x, and then 5x divided by x is 5. So we're looking like we're in pretty good shape here. We're going to multiply now, and then we'll check to see if we can divide out any common factors. So when we do that, 3x rather, plus 5 times 2x minus 3 times 1 is 3x plus 5 times 2x minus 3, and that's going to be all over 4x squared times x is 4x cubed times 3x plus 5. And in this particular case, it's looking like we only have one common factor that we're going to be able to divide out, that being 3x plus 5. So the final solution should be 2x minus 3 over 4x cubed. And that's it. So now you're going to go on and try some practice. If you have any questions, make sure that you email me. Good luck, and I hope everybody's doing well.